My full-fledged introduction to this game happened only now. I started my way of mobile Minecraft gameplay with a completely different game, Block Story. But knowing that Survivalcraft has a huge fan base, and a couple of years ago a sequel was released in the form of Survivalcraft 2, I decided that I should try to get to know this copy of Minecraft. Looking ahead, I didn't regret for a second that I decided to do it. Now you'll understand everything for yourself. If the theater begins with a hanger, this game begins with a purchase. Yeah, the game costs $4, but there's a free demo that you can play for a while, like 20 minutes, to familiarize yourself with the game and see if it's worth your time in general. The game only has English language, and if you lack the basic knowledge, you will mostly run into problems. When creating a world, we have the option of choosing a name, seed, and game mode. There are 4 in total: challenging, cruelty, creative, and harmless. Challenging is the most typical survival we are used to in normal vanilla Minecraft. Cruelty is hardcore. After death, the player won't be able to respawn, and most importantly, the game world will be deleted. Creative, understandable, there's no point in explaining, infinite access to blocks and fight. Harmless, actually an interesting game mode. Animals will not attack the player without provocation. Falling from heights won't be so deadly, health will recover much faster, and mining blocks will be 25% faster. Very cool mode, especially for beginners. It would be nice to add such a thing to vanilla Minecraft. When creating a world, you also have the option to choose your character's skin and textures. All of this is loaded as separate PNG pictures. You can find a lot of different textures and skins on the internet, and if you know how to draw yourself, there are templates on the official website. Gameplay starts with our main character being dropped off on an island. No one explains what he did, whether he's guilty and why he is so punished, or in the opposite, maybe he asked to drop him off on a deserted island. At the end, they say that no one will come back for us. If suddenly you have any guesses what exactly happened, be sure to write about it in the comments. From now on, we're free to do whatever we want. Of course, the game doesn't have any tutorial, you have to learn everything by yourself. In fact, the game has help, which shows the control which button is responsible for what action. And if you put the game on pause, you can see the manual in which the usual text tells us the rules of the game. But the most important advantage is the recipes. In the same menu, there is a so-called Recipedia, which has all possible existing blocks, their brief description, and also shows existing recipes. The only disadvantage for me is that there's no search button. There's only an option to sort by block or item category. My adventure started with some confusing things. First of all, instead of health and hunger, I saw a third bar. At first I thought it was just thirst, but in fact it was body temperature. And in general in the game there are health, hunger, temperature, stamina, wetness, and air. Yeah, all of these indicators will need to be carefully observed. There are even pumpkins here, but they're around for some reason. It doesn't fit into the landscape a bit. Although, if we look at the main character, he will not have straight cubic shapes either. Obviously, as always, I started the most typical activity, getting wood. I mined with my hand, it's just like in Minecraft, so you don't have to worry. It seemed to me that it takes longer to get wood, but it's not that important. Because I played Minecraft, I knew the basic recipes very well, and thankfully they worked here. But I'll point out that it's not that simple, we'll come back to that. In the distance I saw a wild boar. Its shape was also close to reality. It had 2 fangs, and I thought it was about to attack me. But for some reason, it was standing there and not paying attention. So I started building basic tools. At one point, something happened that I didn't expect. This boar attacked me. I never did anything to him. I returned to the workbench and started to create a pickaxe, which was no problem. There was a small mountain in the distance where I could already see the stone. So I ran to the mountain and started mining the cobblestone. Each tool in the game has 3 durability levels. As soon as each of them turns gray, the tool will break. It feels like it has half the durability of the vanilla pickaxe. After mining 10 blocks of stone here, 1 durability level turned gray, so the strength is about 30 blocks. In Minecraft there are 59 blocks. After returning to the workbench, I created some basic stone tools. And of course, like a true gentleman, I wanted to get back at that boar for getting me first. I was able to catch him, but there's the catch. After the first hit, the animal starts attacking back. That makes sense. But as soon as it feels that its own strength and health are running out, it starts running away from the the player. This also makes sense, but the problem is that different animals run at different speeds, and catching up with them will be a difficult task. As soon as I obliterated the boar, he fell to the ground and I was able to strike a few more times, because I didn't understand how I could take my loot. I thought I would have to skin it, but it was quite simple. After a while after death, the animal throws away its loot. In my case, it's raw meat. In the game, there's only such a thing, and it's dropped from almost every animal. I'll tell you even more. When it started to rain, I saw two boars attacking a wolf. They clashed with him in a fight. At first, he tried to fight back, but as his health got low, he decided to run away. I ended up getting meat and skin from the wolf. I also saw a giraffe here and wondered what dropped from that animal. In fact, he didn't fight back and started running away immediately. He ran very fast, but as a result, nothing dropped out of him. Because I ran after him for a long time, I ran out of stamina, and if I was too deep, I would simply drown. As soon as you run out of stamina, the character stops, starts panting, and you can hear such sounds. After this, I decided it was worth to get some rest, eat, and make myself a shelter for the night. In my head, everything seemed very logical. I started to get some cobblestones for the furnace, and at the same time to dig a small cave. Everything worked out exactly as I had expected. The recipe for the furnace worked, and I really hoped that the planks would work as fuel, and that turned out to be a good idea too. But to my surprise, the furnace has 2 slots instead of just 1, so it can roast twice as many things, but that's not really the case. These slots are made for boiling eggs. That's where the problem started. I didn't understand how to eat. Holding a piece of fried meat in my hand after pressing right mouse click, nothing happened. This made me very nervous. While I was dealing with this problem, it was nightfall and monsters turned up. Well, how to say, the typical monsters in our understanding have nothing to do with the monsters in this game. So monsters here are just aggressive animals. Lions and hyenas showed up. I instantly rushed toward the cave so I wouldn't be killed, and then I heard these horrifying sounds. I'll be honest, it was creepy. Eventually, I learned how to eat in this game. Think about it, you have to open not just an inventory with crafting, but a special player's inventory that displays our character. Then grab food and drag it either into your mouth or just somewhere on your body. As for me, it's just terribly inconvenient, especially if you are in the process of fighting with an animal. What's more, I'll say we can eat raw pumpkins, but they do not restore much satiation. I'll surprise you, but even raw eggs can be eaten. They satisfy hunger a bit better. But you know what I liked? We have the option to sleep without a bed. But for doing that, we need to make a small shelter. An ordinary cave will do, and also the floor of the shelter must be made of wood. Then in the inventory of the character, you need to press the sleep button, and then we fall asleep, even though there were angry animals raging near me. After the end of the night, I was mentally prepared to face the crowds of animals, but could only meet a cute little donkey who wandered aimlessly on top of my hiding place. I was even able to climb on it, but I didn't get a ride. But in general, there's a possibility of traveling by animals here. Eventually, I spotted some animals at the base of the mountain. To be precise, I found hyena and wolves. All of them, for some reason, decided to give me their leather for free. What kind and sweet animals. Then I went on a search for adventure and saw how the egg I ate previously turned out to be not the egg of a chicken, but of a crow. Yeah, they are the ones who lay eggs in this game. Who cares? It's food anyway. Next, I found the king of all animals, the lion. He was just wandering around, and I thought I could show him who the real king of all animals was. But in the end, he won. Of course, I'm not the shy type. I went back, started to battle, and the lion just ran away with his tail between his legs. I thought I could chase him down, but he was extremely fast, and my stamina was taking its toll. In the end, I managed to chase him down, and to my great regret, nothing dropped out of him. I'll tell you more than that. I found a small pond in which I thought there were fish, but they were also hostile. It was piranhas that tried to kill me. Nothing dropped from them either, unfortunately. When I returned home, I noticed that even with almost full satiety indicator, health is not in a hurry to recover. And I made an ingenious decision to go to sleep. For the future, it was a fatal mistake. My sleep was disturbed by a wolf. He tried to bite me, and he succeeded quite well. The problem was the respawn. It was in the cabin where the wolf was, wolves. He bit me several times until a lion joined him. Just think about the staleness of the situation. I didn't know what to do in general. I tried to run around, but I was defeated time after time. Until I still managed to kick the wolf out, take all my stuff, and wait out this long and agonizing night. Then I remember that the last time I fought the lion, it had run and the ground collapsed underneath it. I decided to head over there to check out the hole and fell in myself. It turned out to be a trap with wooden spikes. Who left it there? I have no idea, maybe the island is inhabited after all. When I returned home, I learned another mechanic. It turns out jumping into the water in this game doesn't soften the landing. So when I jumped into the sea, I took damage. It was worth it because I was able to take out 2 lions. I even found a small deposit of coal. That was a sign that I should go to the mine. As I got ready to go, I started to take a very long and painful time destroying blocks, until at the end I came across iron. It looked like copper to me at first. From one such deposit I got as many as 19 blocks. Back at home I decided to melt it all down in a furnace to make armor. Here there was another difference. If in normal Minecraft we just place the iron in the form of armor, here it's completely different. First, you'll need to create a leather armor element, and already on it, attach ingots of iron. This is also logical if you think about it in that way. I ended up needing 3 pieces of leather and 4 ingots of iron for the iron chest plate. After creating myself another iron sword and pickaxe, I decided to try it out. And let me tell you that iron tools know their business. They're perfectly coped with a pack of wolves. But the main test was ahead of me, a bear. Here I had to work a little harder, but still I was able to defeat him and get his fur. That's how my first days in this game went. It's far from perfect, but in the old year of 2012, it made a sensation and still many Minecraft fans enjoy playing this game. As I said at the beginning, it has a sequel, Survivalcraft 2, and if you're suddenly interested, I can try out that part as well. In the comments tell me if you've played the first part, and if so, on what device. I'll be glad to read it. While you're waiting for a new video, I suggest you watch these. They are also very interesting ones. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and ring the bell. See you next time!